How's it going, guys? If you haven't met me before, my name's Nick, and today hopefully I'll give you some insight into why you should invest your money and why you should approach it as soon as possible. So what exactly do I mean by investing? Well, as one of the greatest investors of all time, Warren Buffett puts it, he says, investing is laying out money now to have more money in the future by compound interest and investing that over time. And there are so many different ways to invest your money, and the first that might come to mind is putting your money into the stock market. So you're investing yourself into a company. There's other different ways that you can invest your money, like putting your money into real estate, promissory notes, bonds, high interest savings accounts, so it's endless. But frankly, it really doesn't matter which area you decide to pursue. It's all about taking an interest and getting started. Get it? Taking an interest? And before I get into the video, I just want to say investing is not for everyone. For example, if you have high interest credit card debt or student loans, you definitely want to pay off that debt before you actually start investing your money. And with that said, let me get into the first reason why you should start investing. So the first reason is that your money is actually losing its value every single day. Yeah, it's true, and you can blame it all on inflation. Essentially, the average price of a basket of goods rises over time, such as like a gallon of milk will cost $5 one year, and then the next year it'll cost like $5.30. So over time, your purchasing power is essentially diminished, so you can buy less milk than you could the year before. The cool thing about investments like stocks and real estate is that they actually act as a safeguard against inflation. These assets will actually rise with inflation, and so preserving your money if you were to sell them. In fact, you can actually make a lot more money on investments than the rate of inflation, which is about 2 to 3% per year. So while everyone else is losing their purchasing power due to inflation, you'll actually be ahead of the game if you invest your money wisely. The second reason you should consider investing is because of the compounding effect. So this means that whenever you start a portfolio and put your money into an investment or actually make money from your investments, it's going to grow at a compounding rate, and that's called compound interest. In fact, Albert Einstein actually described compound interest as the 8th wonder of the world, and it has merit. So compound interest actually happens in all types of different investments, like even your savings account. So you can make 2% on your money the first year, and then the new balance next year is going to make another 2%, which is more interest that you made before. So it keeps growing actually exponentially. Just to give you an example of the true power of compounding, imagine that you put $10,000 into the stock market 25 years ago and it earned an average rate of return of about 10% per year. Well, the amount of money that you would have today after those 25 years is $108,000. That just shows the true power of compounding because your balance is continuously increasing at an exponential rate every single year. And that's why it's so important to begin investing while you're young, because you have all of these years to start the compounding, and then by the time you're like 50 years old, your growth is going to be absolutely exponential. Alright guys, on to the third reason, and that is for the tax advantages. If you're living in North America like I am, the tax on any investment gains that you make are called capital gains, and these are taxed at a much lower rate than normal income tax. So for capital gains, you only have to pay 50% of your normal income tax rate on any gains that you make in the stock market or whatever other investment you do. So if you bought an investment property for $1 million and then you were going to sell this property for $1.5 million, you would only have to pay tax on the difference between those values, so only on the $500,000. And then in addition, you're only paying 50% of your income tax rate. So say you have to pay 40% tax on your salary, you're only gonna pay 20% tax on those gains. So those are the typical laws for Canada. If you live in the United States, it's a little bit more complicated, but basically follows the same type of rules, and you're gonna gain really good tax advantages. So overall, guys, this can save you a ton of money in the long run, and it's definitely gonna let you just compound your money even more and just have more in your investment account and not have to pay as much tax to the government. So if you're interested in learning more about taxes in Canada or the US, just check out the link I put in the description, and hopefully that helps you out. Alright, so this fourth point is arguably one of the most important and most fulfilling reasons why you should consider investing, and that is to generate passive income. So making passive income just means that you're putting in a little bit of initial work to make a long-term source of lasting income for years to come. And a cool thing about it is that it's actually independent of the time that you put in. So it's unlike an hourly wage, as if you're paid $23 an hour You're actually going to be paid based on the amount of work that you put in initially, and then you'll reap the rewards for years to come. So what this means is that you can actually make money while you're sleeping, you're eating, you're vacationing, you're having fun outside, literally anytime. As long as you put in that initial effort, you can make this money. So an example in investing would be buying a dividend stock. And this is something I like to do. So I own shares of dividend paying companies, and every 3 months I'm actually getting a source of income and they're just paying me and I don't have to do anything about it. And there are a lot of different ways you can make passive income, like having a real estate rental house, or even doing an Airbnb room in your current house. A high interest savings account, you can make interest on your money. And again, it doesn't matter what you do, it's as long as you get started and you're actually making passive income from these investments by putting in that initial amount of work to reap the benefits later. All right guys, the final reason you should consider investing, and it may sound funny, but it's to achieve financial freedom, aka living the dream. And so I bring up this point because I found this one survey by CBC News. In 2017, it was found that almost 50% of Canadian employees said it would be difficult to actually meet their financial needs if their paycheck were delayed by even 1 week. So honestly, I found that pretty astonishing. But the fact that we can actually learn about investing and passive income, we can prevent ourselves from getting to that point. So achieving financial freedom simply means that your expenses for your lifestyle are actually going to be equal to or less than the income that's coming from your investments. And when you reach this state in life, you actually don't have to work any longer because your income from your investments is just covering all of the expenses. So essentially you could quit your 9-to-5 job and just live happily and all of your expenses are paid for. So of course that'll allow you to devote a lot more time to your family, your passions, and whatever else you want to do like vacations. But the idea simply illustrates that you don't have to live paycheck to paycheck and that you can take control of your finances. Anyways guys, if you did enjoy this video or gathered any value whatsoever, just smash that like button for me. Also, just let me know in the comments if you do plan on starting to invest and what you would want to actually invest in, or even if you have started investing already. So I'm hoping to upload more videos in the near future about personal finance, investing, real estate, all that stuff. So if you are interested, please be sure to subscribe and yeah, let me know what you thought. Thanks.